Vav Olive. If one brings the sheep into a fold and locks the door before it properly, but it gets out and damages, it's exempt. If it does not lock the door before it properly and it gets out and damages, he's liable. If he breaks at night or if robbers break in and he goes out and damages, he is exempt. If robbers take it out, the robbers are liable. If he leaves in the sun or gives it over to a deaf mute, a gently arranged person, or a minor, and he goes out and damages, he is liable. If he gives it over to a shepherd, the shepherd assumes responsibility in his stead. If it falls into a garden and derives benefits, his owner pays for what is benefited. Should it go down in the usual manner and damage, he pays for what is damaged. And how does he pay for what is damaged? He pays how much a saw's space in the field was worth and how much it is worth. And Shimon says that if he eats ripe fruit, he pays for the ripe fruit. And if a saw, if two saws, two saws. If one makes stacks of grain in another's field without permission and the animal belonging to the owner of the field eats them, he is exempt. If it isn't by them, the owner of the stack is liable. Should he make the stacks with permission, the owner of the field is liable. Okay.
Okay, השולח עשה בעירה ביד חרש שוטה וקטן. Okay. So, oh wow. I just got a message. Okay, let's do as quickly as I can over here because I just got a message from my friend that he's leaving home now. Okay, השולח es haba'era. So he sends, let's say you got a coal, like a glowing coal. It's not a fire itself yet, but it's something that could start a fire easily. Because if he gave the fire itself to somebody who hasn't got das, then he is going to be held liable. But in this case, he's pater bidei adam. He cannot be sued in court for the damages. V'chayav b'dinei shamayim. But however, the court of Shamayim holds him liable, and therefore, if he's Yarei Shamayim and he doesn't want to end up in Olam Haba with an onish, he should pay anyway. Okay. Shilach biyad pikech hapikech chayav. If you send it with a competent person, then the responsibility is transferred completely. So if you give the flame over, it's over to him. Echad hevi ur ve'echad hevi eitzim. One person brought the fire, one person brought the wood. Maybe eitzim chayav. The person who brought the wood is going to be chayav because he's the one who made it, who completes the damage. Just in the same way as the one who dug the pit for 9 tvachim and the one came afterwards and dug the last tefach out, the last guy is responsible. Similarly, echad hevi eitzim, echad hevi ur. One brought the wood, one brought the flame. Maybe ur chayav. The one who brings the fire is responsible now. But acher v'liba, what happens if they made a small fire, but it wasn't really burning, and some other guy came with and blew it, so the flame grew. The guy who made the flame grow, he's the one who's chayav. However, if the wind came and blew it, and it was an unexpected wind, it was not like a normal wind, because if it's a normal wind, then you can't come and claim that no, you didn't expect it. But there was an abnormal wind came and caused it to go out of control. Then everyone is pater, even b'dinei shamayim. So someone causes damage, sets a fire, and it burns up wood or damages stones or even damages the ground. He's chayav on it. Shneimar ki say ish matzah kotzim v'nechal gadish or hakamo asadeh shalem yishalem amavir esabedera. So just a pasuk to show that sending out a fire makes you fully responsible. Avra gadeshu gavoa arba amos. What happens if the fire crossed a barrier that is at least 4 amos high? Now 4 amos is twice the height of a person. So that's a tall wall. You wouldn't expect a fire to get over that. Or derech harabim, or it went over a highway, or nahar, or it crossed a river, which he is pater. Madlik b'soch shelo, if he lit the fire in his own property, ad kama tavar ad leka. Well, how far within his own property does he have to light it for him to be pater if it somehow manages to leave? Rabbi Elazar ben Azari Omer, ro'in osa ki'ilu hi be'emtza base core. He should be in the middle of what would have been a base core, a very large size of land. Rabbi Eliezer Omer Sheshisrei Amos Kaderech Rosh Hashanah. It says it's the same as in the Rosh Hashanah. You've got to be 16 amos away from your neighbor's property. Rabbi Akiva Omer Chamishim Amah. So Rabbi Kiva says it's 50 amas. Rabbi Shimon Omer Shalem Yishalem Hamavir Sabeira Hakol Lefi Hadleika says it's not a fixed measure. It all depends on the size of the fire, the type of the property. You got to look at each case in isolation. Okay. Mishna, hey, Hamadlik is a gadish. Somebody set fire to a haystack, and there were things inside it that aren't normally kept inside a haystack. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Yishalem Mashi Besocho. Rabbi Yehuda says you caused the damage. You're responsible for whatever's inside it. Chachamim Omrim Eno Mishalem Ela Gadish Shel Chitin or Shel Sorim. You only pay for what is expected to be in the haystack. Haya gedi kafus lo ve'eved samuch lo v'nisraf imo chayav. If there was a goat tied to the haystack or eved close to it and they got damaged by the fire, he is chayav for it. Eved kafus lo gedi chasamuch lo. If the eved, however, was tied to the haystack, or the gedi was just nearby, v'nisraf imo, that he is pater. Why? For the goat because it should have run away, and for the eved because he's chayav misa for murdering a slave. So therefore, once he's already chayav misa, he's not chayav in damages. Umodim chachamim l'Rabbi Yehuda b'madlik esabira shehu mishalem kol ma shebesocha. If you set fire to a house, then you're responsible for all the household contents. Shekain derech b'nei adam la'aniach b'batim, because people put things in their house. You're not going to just be responsible for the structure of the house. Whatever's in the house is what you're responsible for. Get sheyatza mitachas hapartish. A guy was striking with a hammer, and a spark flew out and caused damage. He's still chayiv. This is again adam muad lo alam. You've got to be careful with everything that you do. Gamal shehaya taun pishtan
But
va'ava
I think
b'shul rabin.
give it tomorrow's.
No, I'm not.
Tomorrow's.
I am not. This is for today's.
Uh,
The camel is loaded up with flax, and it passed through the Rishus Harabim. V'nichnesa pishtana losoch hachanos v'dalka b'neira shel chenvani. So basically, the camel's load projects into the shop and catches fire from the candle that's inside the shop. And now it sets fire to the house. Bala Gamal Chayav, the camel owner is the one who's Chayav, because it was his responsibility to make sure that the camel's loaded in such a way that it's not going to go into the houses. Hiniach chenvani nero bin bachutz hachenvani Chayav. But if the shopkeeper left his candle outside in a place where it was a fire hazard and it set fire to something coming past, then he's the one who's responsible. But Rabbi Yehuda Omer, the ner Chanukah pater, when it's ner Chanukah, which is expected to be lit outside, there he's pater because the people going past should be careful about that. Okay, I'm going to have to run. So,
I'll see you tomorrow.
yeah.